What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. A lot of guys have been talking about going overseas for years. That conversation started right here on YouTube. Guys like the late, great Charles Tyler Show, who died, I believe, in 2017. He was from Philadelphia and he was living over in Brazil. He was a buddy of mine. I was his first Patreon. And then you started having other guys in the movement, guys like Taylor Made Dreams. Then after him, you had guys like Drees, and you had guys like Dennis John Pierre, E. Dean Cole, Black Men's Travels. Richie and a whole bunch of guys just from that whole traveling community talking about it. But see, what happened was that conversation has transferred from YouTube over to TikTok. Now, to be fair, a lot of the brothers have always had Facebook groups, so that was really pretty popular then. But now you're seeing these trends on TikTok. And what you're also seeing on TikTok are women being really, really hard on black men who are traveling. Are American men traveling in general? It's just not a black male thing. It's an American male thing. But before I kind of get into the criticism, I want to talk about the hypocrisy that I'm seeing. Let me give you an example of something similar. Now, when Serena Williams married Alexis Ohanian, as a black woman marrying a white man, there was no smoke at all for her. Tika Sumter got married recently to a white man, no smoke. But if Jay Ellis gets married to his wife, or Jamie Foxx dates a white woman, complete chaos. Now, in the same vanity, right, or in the same vein, I've noticed when you get those women like the Stella Got a Groove Back stories, when they go over to the Caribbean and they get a man, it is completely gospel. Black women are going over to Africa, Ghana in particular. It is no issue. And by the way, guys, let me play a clip of this black woman who went over to Ghana, her experience, how Ghana men treated her, and then we'll come back.
Now, I know it might sound crazy, but hear me out. I've never been to a country where the men were so genuine, so intentional, and so loving. And before the girls get on here talking about, sis, he just want a green card. No, they don't. No, they don't. Okay? Those men love Ghana. They love their country. And if anything, they want you to come to Ghana. And you feel that way because you feel like you're in a place where you're actually wanted. But back to the man. The man there, y'all, I've never experienced just an amount of just love and attention. And they don't want anything but to love and take.
So you heard what she had to say. She had no problems. None of those men wanted to leave Ghana. They only was interested in her. She felt like she was a queen, right? Now, I do want to make this clear. If black men go over to any place like Latin America or even Ghana themselves, and if they say the same thing, oh no, that foreign woman is using you. But the thing about it is you never hear women complaining about women who go to foreign countries and, their relationships with foreign men, right? But I want you to hear this American lady talk about what she feels about American men who are going overseas and what the prospects are.
American men go overseas for women for, I'm going to say, a couple reasons. One, that most of the guys are going to say, is that they find that American women, now I'm not saying I agree with this, but they say that American women are a little more hard, a little pickier, harder to please, that type of thing, which, maybe we are. And the thought is that somebody from another country, especially European women, they kind of are a little sexier, a little more go with the flow. They're not as concerned as like, with their checklist as we are. They're not maybe as OCD. They don't, you know what I mean? They're not wound as tight, basically. So, but I think there are those men who are just controlling, and they want a woman who is going to be, somebody that is more of an object, more of a trophy wife, somebody that they can control, essentially. And she's, English won't be her first language.
So you guys heard that there, okay? Listen, I want to talk about some of the things she's talking about, that these guys are going over there dealing with American women that can't speak English. These women are to be controlled. These women are docile. These women are not as OCD. These women are not as educated, right? This is what in other words, you American men can't do anything in America. That's what she's saying. But now if she was to see the first person who went over to Ghana, and according to her, she was treated as a queen, she won't ever say that, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because when women go and marry foreign men, it doesn't really matter. Typically because, well, I'm not trying to be mean here, but men have a different impact on society that women don't, usually. What do I mean? If you lose your women to other groups of men, it hurts, but that can be replaced somewhat easily. Let's say if you're black, right, and you lose, African American women to another group, you can easily, replace that black person with somebody from the Nigerian community, somebody from the Ugandan community, somebody from the Jamaican community. If you need to do so, that's very easy. But now men who are the kind of men that are maybe like skilled labor, the guys who can start businesses, the guys who can build, that's different, right? Because you're missing on a guy who would actually contribute to a particular community or to a particular society. And American men do that. When if American women start dating Ghanaian men, they run the risk of being the people who must provide for the relationship. But now American men are more likely to provide more for American women. So in other words, it's a way to shame American men to stay in the situation where things are not going to change. Things are not going to be better for you. And in the situation that I want to say is, well, what are these ladies trying to do to keep these guys at home? And the answer is going to be nothing. You don't fit the bill. You don't fit the bar. You're just only wanting to go over there because of this, right? and she even admits that American women can be a little bit too difficult. Well, look at the marriage rates. Maybe if they were not so difficult, they wouldn't need to go overseas. But it's always the man's fault. It's never the woman's fault at all. And that's the situation. And then also American women can go and date overseas and do the same thing that men are doing. Like, come on now. We know that women are going over to the Gambia of all races, dealing with, young African men in Mombasa, Jamaica. It's never talked about when women do it because they're experiencing love. We even see it right now with all these ladies dealing with these young guys. Look at Kim Kardashian dealing with Pete Davidson, Erykah Badu, J-Ron Atkinson. She's 51, he's 27. Is anybody talking about, she's robbing the cradle? Like if it was a 51-year-old guy, a 27-year-old guy? No, nobody does it, right? She's not grooming a guy. It's completely cool. She got a young man. Mary J. Blige just had like a 25-year-old leading man in her last video. Never consider grooming. But if you do it, you're grooming. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. Peace out.